Welcome to the source. Get the source.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Happy Thursday. Someone asked, Kyle, did you bet basketball? Your picks did fairly well. Yeah, my picks did all right. I placed one bet and it lost. I like the Pacers -2.5. I actually placed that bet, lost it. Would have won a couple of the other ones if I played them, but I didn't. I actually liked T-Wolves -3, Clippers team total under. I didn't bet it, though. That one was looking pretty good early. Yeah, it's 79-40. So, yeah, that would have been a layup. I liked the Pistons Celtics over. Didn't bet that one. That would have hit. So, yeah, left some money on the table, but took a loss with the Pacers. Next week, I'll be fully into NBA with the spreadsheets rocking, and I'll be posting full tickets on the website. Like, next week we'll be in midseason form for NBA. But anyway, it's not exactly the most loaded college basketball slate here. How'd you guys do tonight?
I lost just under a unit, I think, because I had Baylor who lost with 0.4 seconds left on a foul. I had NC State +2.5 that lost on a meaningless dunk with 0.9 seconds to go. So either one of those two changes, it's pretty much an even day. So I'm upset, but I can't be that mad.
Andy, did you have a winning night?
I went 2-2 and I lost half a unit, but it could have been worse if Texas
should have been worse. If we're being honest,
if Texas hadn't dunked the ball for no reason.
So fucking lucky.
Someone said in the comments, it goes, that Rodfather guy was wrong about Baylor.
Not really. I mean, again, we were just talking about that before we went live. If you had UConn, good for you, buy a lottery ticket. But I mean, losing Edgecombe and Roach in that game, 2 starters. I mean, everybody was so worried about Carabam, and then Baylor became the team that was shorthanded very quickly. So UConn got it done, but I promise you guys, they still suck.
All right, so just 3 games to talk. This will be a quick one. Is Penn State good, or is Purdue spiraling to be catching here?
Purdue has 1 loss, so I don't know if we can necessarily really call them a spiraling team.
So they're catching points from Penn State?
They lost to Marquette on the road. Yeah, this line makes no sense to me. I played Purdue at the open at +2 and on the money line at +114. It's 1.5 now. I would assume that it continues to move a little bit. Maybe not. Is this the – I mean, the thing with Kentucky in that Clemson line that we talked about a couple of days ago or yesterday, last night or whatever it was, and how Kentucky hadn't played a true road game yet, and they were going to have to travel into Clemson and maybe play through the half court and all that good stuff. And that could obviously ended up turning out being the detriment to Kentucky. But Purdue doesn't have this issue. Purdue's already went on the road and played a top 10 Marquette team. They lost that game, but they didn't get blown out. And then they played 2 neutrals against Mississippi and NC State. Neither one of those teams are great, but NC State just played a really good game against Texas that we were just joking around about. Not to mention Purdue has played Yale, Alabama, Marquette, NC State, and Mississippi State. All those teams essentially top 100 teams. And not to take anything away from Andy's sales, but I know he's going to talk about the pace and how home teams dictate pace. But I was talking with Andy earlier, and it's not like Purdue hasn't seen teams with pace. I mean, let's see, who is it? Mississippi State. I'm sorry. Purdue has seen Alabama, who's number 12 in pace, Marquette, who's number 19 in pace, NC State, who's number 13 in pace. The only team that, to be honest, that's actually a true slow-paced team that Purdue has faced was Yale, and they won that game by 8. But again, I mean, even Corpus Christi, a top 60 team, Northern Kentucky, a top 130 team as far as pace, Marshall, 108, NC State's a top 100. But again, none of these teams are super slow where you have to worry about such a change of pace that Purdue hasn't seen already. So not to mention the fact that, again, I'm going to say this every single time we talk about Purdue: guard play. Is Ace Baldwin good? He's all right, but again, he's not Braden Smith and he's not Fletcher Lawyer. So I just think that Purdue has way too many advantages here. Maybe, just maybe, you could make the case that they were first true road game if this was it, but it wasn't. And there's also one other thing that I saw, because I wanted to see how Purdue has done the last couple of years in Big 12 play, or I'm sorry, Big 10 play to start. They lost their first road game last year against Northwestern. I think that this Northwestern team last year, I know these are different teams, but as far as last year and this year is concerned, that game against Northwestern was a lot harder than it is going into NC State. So again, I just think that Purdue is a much better team, and you're getting points with this team no matter what. So again, I made made this Purdue minus 2.5, 3. I think they're a full possession better than this Penn State team, but I agree. This line is a little suspicious, but if you're going to give me this Purdue team +2, I'm going to take it almost every time against a team like Penn State.
Well, the poll isn't completely one-sided. It's 46%, 41%. So there's a lot of people betting Penn State. People in the comments, Brian Grabenz is on Penn State. Peyton Short says he likes Penn State. It kind of sounds like they're just playing the sharp line, though, which, hey, not mad at you if you've done that. I've done that plenty of times myself. But, yeah, Andy, what do you think?
I said it to Toast in our group chat. I said, I don't care. The height advantage is for Penn State. The numbers probably look better for Penn State. But I'm sorry, where am I supposed to be impressed with what this team has done? Their best win this year. I mean, their best win to this point. Respect to them. It was a game against Purdue Fort Wayne, maybe. I mean, even Virginia Tech, like that's in theory their best win because it's a power conference win. We just saw Virginia Tech got run off their own home floor by Vanderbilt. I mean, so they're literally the worst ranked power conference team in college basketball right now when it comes to net ranking. That's how bad Virginia Tech is. So like that's their most storied win or their best win in terms of like power conference. Their best win after that's a 13-point win where they give up 89 points to Purdue Fort Wayne at home. So what am I supposed to be impressed with? They played one good team. It was Clemson. It was a neutral site game. They got ran off the floor. They lost by 8, but they never had a shot to win that game. And Clemson, we did just see them beat Kentucky, but Clemson's not Purdue. Look, you want to say, what, this is Purdue's second technical road game, right? They played at Maryland, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, they did get run off the floor by Maryland.
Marquette.
We just saw what Maryland can do today. Maryland's a very good basketball team as well. Much better defensively than Penn State. Much faster than Penn State. They're just overall better shooting the three than Penn State. I don't think Penn State can match up here. They haven't had to match up to this point. The one game where they had to play a good team, they got ran off the floor. Like, I think, look, I get the lines a little sketchy and people like to take sketchy lines and maybe they like to take Penn State because it's sharp. Personally, I know teams have gone to Penn State and lost in years past, but it's early in the season. I don't think that that's going to happen for Purdue yet. This isn't like a late season Big Ten game where they're looking ahead. No, this is their first Big Ten game of the season. They're not going to be looking ahead. They're going to be ready for this game. So, yeah, I like Purdue a lot here. I was surprised when I saw it. I also did the same thing Toast did. I took half on the money line, half on the spread. I think they're going to win it. So. Purdue.
I just don't know who on Penn State matches up with Trey Kaufman-Renn. Like that's where I'm at. Like I don't think that I know that Penn State has size, but I don't think that they have the skill to match up inside, especially with our Lawyer and Smith running the point. So again, if you're playing Penn State, you're playing on the line alone. I mean, that's pretty much it because Purdue, I mean, unless Purdue just absolutely can't hit anything from outside, but Purdue's one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the country. So again, it really just doesn't make any sense.
All right. Someone said, I'm a Penn State student. Yannick is impressive. He says Penn State will win, but he admits that it's a biased take because he is a Penn State student.
Right, I misspoke. It wasn't Maryland. They played Marquette. But again, Marquette, really good basketball team. So like,
Toast was already talking about the Marquette game before.
I know, but I misspoke and I said it was Maryland. Somebody in the comments called me. My bad. It was Marquette. Still a road game. Still got their asses kicked.
By the way, so the poll on that one's really close. So it's not overwhelming Purdue. Now, obviously, the 46 votes is not a sample size that represents the total action, but 47% say Purdue, 41% of the people watching right now say Penn State. Next game, Xavier, TCU. Another game, we got a short home favorite here. Big East ball? Is this a spot for a Big East ball to spread their wings?
I'll let Andy take that one. Go ahead.
So
I say no.
When I was reading this, I was confused by the line because TCU is favored. Probably shouldn't be. They're not. I mean, they're a good defensive team for sure, but they haven't been necessarily good scoring. They've had 3 games against, I guess, what you would call good competition. They lost all 3. They just lost to Colorado State. Honestly, that's probably why I'd take them. They're coming off back-to-back losses. They've played 3 of their last four games have been on the road. Actually, 3 of their last 4 games have been on the road. or neutral site. The one game where that was at home, they played Alcorn State and they won by 23. So this is a good get back spot, get home, play a Xavier team who has had their lumps, but they're a fine. They're not look, Xavier probably is going to finish 7th or 8th in the Big East, and that's really bad because the Big East is terrible. So I mean they're not that good of a team. I think just the spot for TCU, because after losing back-to-back games, both neutrals, going completely winless in your MTE, I mean that coming home to that is a good environment. It's going to be a good environment for them to win a game. So I would lean TCU here.
Toast, it sounds like you're on the same side.
I played over just because I think that for me, it's part of it's a pace thing for me. Both of these teams run a pretty fast pace, especially when they want. That's the type of style that they want to play. Xavier is around the top 50. TCU is a top 75 team as far as pace is concerned. And I also think that TCU is going Xavier. I trust Sean Miller offensively. I don't trust Sean Miller defensively, Xavier head coach. And that's the one thing that I think for TCU that I think is going to be a little bit of a step down in class, seeing this Xavier team that's around 65th or so, but they just got done seeing a Michigan team that's a 5th best team as far as defensive efficiency in the country. Santa Clara is a top 90 team. Colorado State's a top 70 team, or give or take a few. So I don't really put too much stock into that Xavier defense, but at the same time, I do think that this Xavier offense can score. And the fact that TCU, when they have looked good, their games are pushing 74 to 70 to 75 possessions. The Colorado State game, obviously that went to overtime, but the Michigan game still hit 73. Texas State still hit 73. Santa Clara hit 69. I feel like if each of these teams gets 72 possessions or more, I think this number goes over 144. But I did play it. It was a half a unit play for me, but it's just because I don't trust TCU as a favorite in this game. They have lost 3 or 4. It is a spot for them. But another thing with TCU is if this game's close, they're terrible. I think they are the worst free throw shooting team in the country. So it's just really hard to lay points with a team at home or on the road that can't shoot free throws to save your life. And Xavier is one of the best free throw shooting teams in the country. So again, I played over. I kind of like it, but at the same time, I would lean Xavier if I had to. But again, I felt the same way as I do with Rodney Terry. You just can't really trust this team, the Sean Miller teams on the road.
I like it for Xavier. Musketeers. Toast said it. Shoots the free throws, whatever the hell he said. Sounds good. All right, so on to the next one.
Big East ball.
Big
East.
Big East ball. I'll bet that too, because I'm a fan of the Big East.
Oh, so you're allowed to be a fan of a conference?
Yeah, because I'm not biased like you. Yeah,
you guys should have heard Andy before the show. Oh man.
Yeah, Radhawk was calling Andy out. Radhawk was like, I can't take Andy's SEC biased. Where's Radhawk in the comments?
Somebody in the comments called SEC football. I think he's got more SEC bias than me.
It's in his name. All right. St. Louis. Oh, Toast. WCC game here?
It is not WCC game, but yes.
What do you mean? Oh, St. Louis isn't WCC.
Yeah.
San Francisco is. Okay.
Yeah. I'm taking St. Louis here. I'm taking St. Louis plus 9.5. Andy I'll let Andy talk about what he likes in this game, but I think this is a really good spot for St. Louis. Obviously, we saw them at they played one of those the first of the year games where everybody was on TV against Santa Clara and everybody was betting that game because it was one of the only games on. They didn't look good. Robbie Avila absolutely got hurt in that game, but he's been back. I mean, he missed the Wichita State game and then the Loyola Marymount game, but he's been back. His minutes are going up. He played 30 against Quinnipiac, played 33 minutes against UMass Lowell and 38 minutes against Jackson State. So I think that you can trust him, and his shooting is starting to come. He's been shooting almost 50% from deep. So I think that now that they're going with Swoop and Jimerson, I think this is a senior-laden Billikens team that should be able to handle whatever San Francisco throws at them. Ken Pom made this game 11, and I thought that was kind of weird. I think that I think that San Francisco's a decent basketball team, but when they've stepped up in class, they haven't done very well. I mean, they played well against a Boise State team that I think that the jury's still out on them, and that was a nice home win for San Francisco. But then against Memphis and Clemson, obviously both of those teams are much better than St. Louis. I will give you that. But they didn't really look really great. I mean, I think the Memphis game was kind of tricky because Memphis kind of was slow to start, and then after about like 7 minutes or 6 minutes to go in that first half, it was essentially all Memphis after that. So they kind of folded down the stretch in a semi-home game. Obviously, the game against Clemson wasn't any close. So I just think that at least size-wise and experience and all that stuff, I don't think that either one of these teams has a really huge advantage against the other one. And at the same time, neither one of these teams can shoot free throws at all. The only thing that I worry about St. Louis as far as defensively is defending the three ball, and San Francisco is not a team that I really worry about beating me on deep. I worry about them beating me inside. That's where they like to do all their damage. So I feel like St. Louis can shut them down enough from the inside. So I just thought that 9.5 was too many. I made San Francisco minus 6.5. So at 9.5, it was kind of easy for me to take St. Louis. And on top of that, I knew Andy kind of leaned toward the under, which kind of helped me take the points as well.
Yeah, I didn't make the graphic, and I'll have it ready for tomorrow's show, but I'm on the under. It's because it's moving, and I don't know where it's going to get, so I don't want to make the graphic just yet. But what I got was 151.5, but it's going up. Don't know why. The way that I looked at it was similar to the St. Mary's USC game that was on Thanksgiving, I believe. Mm-hmm. The home team, or in this case, the better team, San Francisco runs a much slower pace. They're 206th in pace, while St. Louis is 77th. The more talented team usually dictates the pace. I think they will dictate the pace. So it'll be a much slower game. I think it'll get St. Louis out of whack, much like it did USC. USC wasn't able to hit shots because they weren't able to play their game. I think that St. Louis is going to be in a similar spot. Doesn't mean they can't win the game. I think San Francisco hasn't been a great shooting team this year. Also, another part for the under, and I know Toast will like this, neither one of these teams can shoot free throws. San Francisco's 211. St. Louis is 341. So neither one of these teams can shoot free throws either, so that helps. So yeah, I think this is a good spot for the under. I don't quite know why it's going up. It's not like it's a low number. 151.5 is pretty high. So especially because this is in San Francisco's gym. This isn't Chase Center.
Yeah, it's in War Memorial.
Yeah, this is in their gym. So I expect this to be a low scoring game.
All right, cool. That was the last game. And yeah, someone just asked about the Thursday night football game. That video will be up in about an hour. So yeah, we just got to render it, and so it'll be up in about 45 minutes an hour for that. So
and also I just want to say that I know that St. Louis, I kind of feel the same way about St. Louis as I felt about USC tonight. Obviously USC's winning. I don't know how that game's going to end, but as far as this is a really good shot for St. Louis to put everything that they've had to deal with in the first half of this season with the injury and the losses, put that aside, start on a fresh foot. Again, I just like the spot for St. Louis. Anyway.
All right, cool. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, or the 4 p.m. live show. We'll do the NFL game, some NBA, college basketball, all that. If you're able to make it, love to see you. Packers Lions video.